Alright, so welcome back. In this video for the Ultimate Swing Trader, I wanted to outline for you some of the other markets that we actually can trade with the methodology. One is the Aussie-US currency pair. We spent quite a few videos that you've been watching where we cover the major pairs that you're probably familiar with, such as the Euro-US dollar, the Pound-US, the Euro-Yen, the Pound-Yen. But the Aussie-US is another currency pair that trends very nicely, and it's one that responds very well to the Ultimate Swing Trader strategy. So at the right edge here is what I saw, in this case on the evening of April 28th, so it's just a few days ago. You've been watching all recent trades, and all I look for in the case of the Ultimate Swing Trader is I know once every 24 hours I'm going to be looking for new setups. So don't worry about like any setup that happened during the day, whether it triggered, whether it didn't. I just take a look at the current price action and see, okay, I've got my entry price on a long right here, 7142, and a potential short down here, 7015. And I would be taking either the long or the short, and I can set that up, and I have everything that I need because if the market goes down, I've got my short criteria with my targets, as well as there's a preset protective stop. And if I go long and the market goes up, I'll be triggering here to go long. I'll take off 83 pips here, 166 here, and then if I happen to hit my final target, I'm shooting for 249 pips up there. In the meantime, I know that I've got my stop, and I actually put on the chart here for you, this little dotted line here is the stop should I go long here. So that just depends if the market breaks through here and takes me long. So that's my setups. I go ahead and I place that, and that's it. And that literally takes me a couple minutes to go ahead and manage for this currency pair on the evening of the 28th. And from there, it's up to the market to do what it needs to do. I don't watch these trades. I don't watch them pip for pip. It's not as if I'm going to stay up all night if the trade triggers. I've got my stops in. I've got my targets in. I just let the trade happen. So you can see right here, I go ahead and trigger on the buy side. Now in this case, the time there was 2:40 in the morning New York time. For me, where I'm located in my part of the world, I'm asleep at this point. But I'm fine and I'm secure because I've got the stop in on the market. So if it happens to come down to this little small dotted line here, I'll stop out, and more likely and hopefully we rally up to at least one of my profit targets. So the market continues to move on, goes sideways, and right here, as you can see, I hit my first profit target. Okay, so that's great news because right here I pick up 83 pips. So from this point to here, this actually all happened while I would be asleep in this case. And you know, when you trade Forex, even though it trades 24 hours a day, none of us are going to want to monitor this market 24 hours a day. We're going to want to basically put in our 10 minutes and be done with it. So when I wake up in the morning, yeah, I take a quick look and see how I'm doing and see if I need to raise my stop, which in this case I do. I need to raise my trailing stop now to break even, which I do. So I've booked my profits of 83 pips, and if I'm still holding for this next target here and this next target here, I'll have my stop raised to break even. Now you may wonder, hey, what is this in here? Almost looks like a new setup, and that's true. Potential new setup. But remember what I said? I don't worry about every single setup that occurs. This is about being very relaxed, about not overworking and not overstressing. I'll deal with this the next night and see if there's anything that I want to do with that on the potential short side. In the meantime, I hold along to the original parameters. Okay, that doesn't change anything. So again, this is keeping it simple. Entry here, first target here, and now I'm hoping to get to this next target. And in the meantime, my stop is in that break even. All right, so let's see what happens as this trade progresses. So we start getting a nice move up here. We don't quite get to the target. Going back and forth, and notice how choppy it's getting. For a lot of traders, this would probably really cause a lot of trouble because they don't know what to do when the market is not booming up or booming down or dropping down quickly. But you know what happens? Over the course of about another, not quite 24 hours, I get the second leg up, and again I get a move into my target. This is the next line, and this was 166 pips. So remember, in here, target 1, and now target 2 has been hit. Now what do? I raise the stop up to this level. So now no matter what, if I'm still holding for the final impulse to the upside at the 7490 area, I'm going to make money even if this market comes cratering on down. This is a profit stop. Profit stops are the best, right? So again, nothing for me to do. I make that one adjustment, and how long does that take on a given day? 30 seconds? And you're done, and you don't need to watch it. Your adjustment's in, and now you're waiting to hit, hopefully, profit target, or you might stop out. So at this point, I came pretty close to the profit target here. Didn't quite make it. It pulled back. Remember, my stop is this line here. So I'm not, I'm not stopped out. at my profit. I'm just kind of holding on. Comes down. It almost looks like I might actually get stopped out here. But again, that's not a bad stop out if it happens. But look what happens. The market then rallies back up, never takes out this line here, which is where my stop was. And now, again, it's very choppy, right? This is over a course of 2 days now. Look how much chop is going on, up and down, right? For most people who aren't swing trading, that's a real problem because they're going to probably get churned alive, and lose a lot of money in their day trading. But ultimately, we get the move up to the last target. And this is the third target right here. And on that case, right, you get the 83 pips times 3, almost 250 pips. But not the easiest chart. I think you'd agree that this was over this day's pretty choppy. Actually, this day's not bad. You have, one correction before the move up. But without a doubt, this day was pretty tough to handle, right? I mean, up and down. The day before, lots of up and down. We came close to the target and then it faded on us. But you know what? It didn't matter. There's just not a lot of over-analysis that you have to do with the Ultimate Swing Trader. So great example here of a trade that, picks up, with all three scale outs, almost 500 pips on the trade. And all from the original setup that we had back here on this session. Now, a lot of the trades, I'll say the average time is probably one session, maybe two. But, here's a case where it took 3 or 4 sessions, but it didn't matter. Obviously, ultimately had a real nice reward and a very, very structured way of trading without having to pay any attention other than that coming in once per day to see if there's anything more that we needed to do. And right now in the Aussie US, there's nothing we need to do now in this trade except for wait for the next setup. We're flat, we're out, and I'm going to wait for the next trade. And that's where we are in real time at this point. And if the market starts to fade back down, I'll get a setup on both a short and a long, and we'll go ahead and we'll take it again. So I wanted to show you that as a good example of one of the other markets that you can trade. And here's another one as well, the US yen. This is another market that we can take. We're waiting for our next setups here. We had such a strong move to the upside recently, as you can see, that took off to the upside and went through potential targets on that one. That right now we're just waiting for a new setup. And tonight my decision point is nothing. I don't have to do anything on this market. There is no trade for me on certainly the long side or the short side, and I would just kind of be waiting until tomorrow. So I know on this market, nothing for me to do. And that's kind of the power of the methodology. It doesn't take me much to know exactly what to need to do. I bring up the chart, and I can see that I have no setup, and I move on to the next currency pair. And that's it. So I wanted to show you that with the Ultimate Swing Trader. Be sure to check out the other videos. Get yourself a copy. Get the course. We've got a lot of people from around the world on the methodology right now. It's all pretty exciting. So if you have any comments or questions, please leave a comment in the blog, and we'll be sure to work through those and answer those for you directly.